In the labyrinth of Ramiris, Ramiru's friends can easily teleport. Vega's idea might be useful in preventing this. In that sense, Vega's idea would have been meaningless in this golem level, and the next level would be the best place to implement Vega's idea. Dino summarized his thoughts in this way. Vega himself, the creator of the idea, was pleased to hear this. Oh, good. Dino, you know what you're doing. Yes, I do. With me, you'll be able to conquer this place with ease. He is so full of himself that he even says, all right, I'll just get on your shoulders. I know, don't tap me on the shoulder. You better get your evil dragon spawn out of here, will you? Oh, I'm on it. I'll concentrate on seizing the labyrinth in the next level, and leave the rest to you, okay? Dino nodded his head in agreement, accepting Vega's proposal out of a desire to make things easier. Pico and Gracia had no complaints if Dino agreed. Mai simply obeyed. Thus, the strategy in the labyrinth, which had been unclear, was clearly decided. Dino and his team were disappointed when they reached the 61st level. The enemies suddenly disappeared. What was that onslaught we just saw? From the 61st level, there should be a lot of dead spears coming out, right? Pico and Gracia asked Dino. That's true. There don't seem to be any lower level monsters. Even Mai looked surprised. Damn, are they afraid of us? What's the point of ruling the hierarchy if they're afraid of us? Dino replies and says the correct answer. Well, you know what? Maybe they went to intercept Agril. Mai was surprised at this. Are you kidding? How many monsters did they take with them? Since she was a specialist in spatial transportation, she was curious to know what kind of a fool they are. Well, it can't be less than 10 million, can it? Dino answered, to which Mai exclaimed. Is it possible? I think Adalman can do it by using dead spear summoning. Dino was very casual in his response to Mai's pallid face, as he did not care how difficult it would be. I mean, to use even the monsters left unattended in the labyrinth as an army, isn't that a foul play, to be honest? Cheating isn't the word I'd use. It's an idea I wouldn't have thought of. Pico and Gracia are also discussing it as if it were something else. I don't know, don't complain to me. You should talk to Rimuru about that. He wants to complain, too, and Dino is fed up with it. Dino and the others, who had no time to spare since no enemies appeared, exchanged a lot of light talk with each other. So the group walked up to the monster-infested level. They arrived at the 71st level. Oh, Zijin is here, isn't he? Dino muttered disgustedly. With all those bugs stirring around, there was no way that Zijin, the king of the bugs, would be absent. Dino was in tears inside, knowing that he had lost the game. Well then, as per the plan, please do your best. Yeah, I'll do my best. Dino is approached by the easygoing Vega, and he responds in a casual manner. He thinks that if he can't win, he will let Vega do what he wants. Vega begins to invade the labyrinth as planned. He subdivides his own cells into smaller and smaller pieces, and produces a demonic bacterium. Then, he starts to cover the inner walls of the labyrinth with a thin layer of bacteria. Dino would like to ask Evil Dragon Spawn to be released first, but it seems that they can't handle their powers at the same time. Or rather, Vega is not all-powerful, and if he plays Evil Dragon Spawn, he will not have enough energy. Well, it can't be helped. Let's hunt bugs and feed them to Vega. I agree. No objections. While protecting Vega, the Dinos set up a temporary base there and began hunting bugs. And what about Vega who remained there? The power of the ultimate skill Evil Dragon King Ozzy Dahaka, of which Vega was not even aware, was about to evolve in an unbelievable direction. In a small room on the 71st floor, Vega was sitting in Zazen, meditation. He had done this many times on other levels, so he was used to it by now. And this time, unlike before, he had a clear goal in mind. Vega unleashed his authority with great enthusiasm. As usual, he tries to invade the labyrinth, but the response is slow. Of course. Vega's ultimate skill Evil Dragon King Ozzy Dahaka is the power to manipulate organic matter, which cannot be used against imaginary matter such as Ramiris Labyrinth. It will not work even if he tries to take over the labyrinth. But Vega was very much mistaken here. Or rather, he did not understand Evil Dragon King Ozzy Dahaka at all, even though it is his power. Vega's power was still in its infancy. And since Vega thought that he could only control organic matter, he used Evil Dragon King Ozzy Dahaka. The organic matter was in Vega's body. Organic matter was easy to take into Vega's body, and it was the source of Evil Dragon Spawn. However, the essence of the power of Evil Dragon King Ozzy Dahaka is to absorb the power of the target he has eaten. If it was impossible to do so, he could take away its energy by means of skill absorption. Therefore, it was correct to use skill absorption instead of organic domination when dealing with the labyrinth. Vega did not realize it, but at that time, he was in a good mood and released all of his powers by skipping the troublesome procedure. He had usually controlled his power because it was too draining, but he was determined to show Dino and the others that he was good at it. He knew that he was being taken advantage of. So, Vega followed his instincts and bit into the labyrinth. What? It's reacting differently from before. A question arose. It was not an inorganic reaction like before. Hey, this might work, right? I think it's going to work. Vega was elated. The ultimate skill evil dragon king Azidahaka has the ability to take inorganic matter and create an infinite number of alter egos if they are rooted in the earth. What happens when this power is applied to the labyrinth? The results were astonishing. Although it failed to take in imaginary matter, it began to absorb energy from the labyrinth itself. It assimilates itself into the surrounding natural environment, making itself a part of nature and enabling infinite regeneration. This was the essence of the ultimate skill evil dragon king Azidahaka, and the correct way to use it. Vega had unknowingly made it his own. Incidentally, the environment that has been drained of energy will be destroyed and perished. Such a fact is not known to Vega, and even if it were, he would not care. What matters is the consequences that lie ahead. If Vega succeeds in assimilating the labyrinth of Ramiris, the right of the labyrinth will be taken away by Vega. Then, Ramiris's labyrinth creation would be Vega's, but it was a divine right beyond human control. It would not only destroy him, it would cause terrible consequences. Unaware of this, Vega presses on without fear. I feel great. I could suck energy directly from this labyrinth. Even if I can't dominate it, this way, at worst, I won't lose. Since energy is supplied inexhaustibly, Vega has become invincible. It would be great if he can take away the power of the labyrinth, but even if that is impossible, he can destroy the labyrinth by sucking up all the energy. If he does that, the invulnerability of the enemy will be lost. They will run away in a panic, but there is no safe escape on the ground. Vega should have left the rest to Feldway, not to worry about it. But, once I control this labyrinth, I will not allow the enemy to escape. Vega was sure of his victory at this point. This labyrinth was really impregnable and the biggest threat. Unexpectedly, he found a clue to the solution. Moreover, the greatest contributor was Vega himself. It was as if he had taken the immortality of the enemy, and it was difficult to tell Vega not to get carried away. Dino and his team were extremely wary of the labyrinth, but they didn't think it was funny. They imagined themselves surpassing, which made them look forward to the moment of victory even more. The more dangerous the labyrinth is, the more rewarding it will be when it surpasses its power. It was impossible not to be happy to conquer the labyrinth that everyone feared with Vega's power. I'm going to do it. I'm going to show my power and conquer this labyrinth with an overwhelming victory. If Vega could block the labyrinth's ability, it was their turn to overrun the labyrinth. Even if this did not come true, Vega would not have lost if he himself had become invulnerable. Vega begins to accelerate his invasion of the labyrinth, dreaming of the moment of victory. Dino and the other four were attacking the labyrinth with Vega as their starting point. To tell the truth, they do not expect Vega's plan to succeed. On the contrary, he still wants to escape from the labyrinth as soon as possible. You idiot. I'm not counting on you from the beginning. But if you can make me not have to work, I can depend on you a little more. Despite Dino's constant requests, Vega has not released Evil Dragon, Spawn or whatever it's called. The reasons for this are understandable, but they are not forgivable. In the first place, there is Erosion, whom Dino does not want to fight, and Dino is not willing to attack the labyrinth. He cannot escape from the labyrinth because it is controlled by Feldway, and he has no motivation to do so. Besides, he has an appointment with Rimuru, so he cannot do anything rash. I try to talk with him as much as possible so that he can know our plans. I hope Rimuru will forgive me, but it depends on his mood. Ah, damn, what a hassle. Dino lamented the current situation. Anyway, whether Vega could conquer the labyrinth or not, it didn't matter to Dino, which is why he turned. The same goes for Pico and Gracia. Mai is the only one who does not seem to be loyal to Feldway, though he's not sure about her intentions. It is just Dino's intuition, but he is never wrong. Either way, escape is already impossible. I hope that I can be forgiven at least for complaining, but I have no choice but to give up and follow Vega's lead. I mean, he's really annoying me. Who does he think he is? Yes, he is. He orders me around like a big shot, and frankly, I don't like it. Why do you do what he says, Dino? I don't have a choice. Feldway's got me under his thumb. Well, can't you get him off the hook? If you could, you'd have done it by now, wouldn't you? I know. If we could, we'd have done it by now, wouldn't we? Vega is a pain in the ass, but Feldway is unforgivable. As long as Pico and Gracia have the angelic ultimate skill, they cannot escape from absolute domination. It would be a different story if they could do something about it, but the reality is that there is no way to solve this problem at the moment. In this sense. Mai, you say. Your power is not angelic, so you don't have to do what Feldway says, do you? Yes, Mai's power was different from angelic power. What? Mai rolls her eyes, perhaps in surprise at being suddenly pointed out. Then, in a panicked manner far from her usual calmness, she says that it is not possible. I was given alternative by Michael-sama too. You can defy him with your willpower, he said. But when you're given an order, you feel like you have to obey it. It's all in your mind. Dino was not good at working hard himself, but he was good at getting others to do something. If someone is motivated, he can make it easier for himself. This time, Mai was chosen as the target. You will save us. Yes, Mai. Let's run far away from here without taking orders from those bastards. Even Gracia is talking nonsense, saying that they can go to another dimension if they want. Mai, who was not used to being on the receiving end of such a challenge, was puzzled by their flattery of him. She did not have that much confidence in her own authority. On the contrary, she felt that she had been let down. I wanted to see my beloved brother, but it was impossible for me to cross the dimensional barrier. Mai had given up even before the fight, saying that escape was impossible. You should have more confidence, you know. I don't mean to say it, but that instantaneous movement is an unbelievably great power. If I'm not good enough, I won't be able to beat you. That's right. If you want, Mai should blow Feldway away. Somewhere far enough away that he won't be able to control it. I'm counting on you. Pico and Gracia joined in on Dino's words, even going as far as to say something absurd. For some reason, Mai felt comfortable with this. She would never have felt this way if she had been under the control of Dino. Fufu, of course, it's impossible. Despite her modesty, Mai had started to think positively somewhere in her mind. And so, while getting to know Mai better, Dino's group spent their time killing bugs. Then, a happy-go-lucky voice echoed through the room.